Hi and welcome to our recording regarding the latest Shortcuts Smart release. So this is the changes to your customer console. So what we're going to go through is we're going to cover the new console features, our new BookMe and mylocalsalon settings, new Spotlight settings and our new Scorecard enhancements. So to get all this information you need to have access to your Shortcuts console. So this will just check, this is just your Shortcuts login, so this is where you would log in and you'd have your username and password, and then that would then give you access to the console. So as part of the improved console, what we've done is we have changed where you actually log in. So when you log into the console itself, there's now a little option for a forget password. So in the past you had to contact us if you'd forgotten your password and then we would reset it. But now you're able to just click on your forgot password option and this will then reset your password for you. So I'm just going to take you into the console now. So into our Shortcuts console. And the first place that we're going to look at is in our Spotlight feature. So Spotlight is where we get our ratings and reviews from. It's where we manage our ratings and reviews. And there's been a few improvements to enhance viewing results. So the pages have been changed slightly so that we can click through and we can get back to where we were, which I'll show you in a second. And some of the Spotlight changes that have taken place. One of them is that we can change a map view. So you can see that I'm looking at Spotlight and I've got two salons. So I've got multiple sites. And if I wanted to look at those sites on a map, I can click on my change to map view. And then this would give me an idea of my salons and how well they're doing. So you can see down the side you've got a little index of your green, oranges and reds. And then here we've got our sites individually coloured. I can then also click on the little tabs along the side, down the bottom, and that will then take me through to my reviews. So I'm just going to go back. So as I said, we've got these little options to just go back a step. Click on Spotlight. Takes me back to the Spotlight main page. So some of the other functionalities that has changed is on here we've now got our NPS, which is our Net Promoter Score. It gives us an idea of how each salon is doing, and then down the bottom we've got our Net Promoter Score and our Net Promoter graphs. So these graphs have been changed slightly, and for anybody that's not sure, is unsure, the Net Promoter Score, basically this comes from those client emails that are sent out with the ratings and reviews, and there's a question that asks if you would refer a family or friend to the salon, and based on those answers it works out your net promoter. So your detractors are clients that wouldn't promote, and then your promoters are your clients that would recommend you to other people. So based on that information that's given to us, we can then work out that Net Promoter Score for you. And a healthy NPS for a salon shows more promoters. It means clients are willing to promote and recommend your salon, which is always good. So we've added a little more data into the graphs for you. And there's also a little reference at the bottom, so you can see where it says no reviews were sent in the following months. So if you're looking at your graph and you've got a couple of spaces, then we can see here that no reviews were sent in the following months. So it gives you an idea of what information you're looking at. So if you're looking at a blank area, it means that there was no reviews going out, and then you can just keep your eye on it and make sure that everything's going as it should. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you down our little sidebar and we're just going to go into our reviews. So a couple of things that have changed in the review. We've now got a summary along the top, and this summary gives us an idea of how many responses we've had from our ratings that have been sent out. So you can see here it's showing you today, the week and the month. So you can get an idea of how many ratings have been sent out and then how many responses we've had back as well. So again, just a little bit more information for you to view visually straight there on the page. And we've also added in the visit date to the reviews themselves. So the visit date, and then next to it is the review date. This information used to be there in the details tab, but we just made it a little bit more prominent and popped it onto the main page, again just so you've got an idea of when the client came in, so instantly you know if somebody said something not so great, that maybe you know that there was an issue that day. Okay. Fab. So I'm just going to go back into click on Spotlight again and take us back to our little tab down the side. And I'm just going to go into my website plugin. So for those of you that are unaware, this is where you would generate some code that you can put into your website. And this is being able to promote your ratings and reviews on your own website. So you just generate some code in this box here, and this has had a little tweak if you like. We had some clients that were having issues with WordPress or template sites, so this has been tweaked to accommodate these. So if you were having any issues, then we'd recommend that you generate a new code, and hopefully you should be able to incorporate it more successfully into WordPress or template sites. Okay, so I'm just going to go back into Spotlight again. So another change that's been made is within the settings of Spotlight. So some of you will have been in here before, and this is where we can set up our daily notification and contact notification. So your daily notification is somebody's responded to a rating and review. It's just going to email you daily to let you know who's responded, and then a contact notification, and this just lets you know if a client has actually requested to be contacted. So alongside these, we've now given you a send detractor notification. So this is somebody that scored 6 or less on that question of would they refer a family or friend. So by clicking this box, it will then send you a notification email where you've got a detractor, and then hopefully you can contact that client and then turn it around and hopefully turn them into a passive, find out if there's been a problem and what we can do to help. Well, so there are your changes within the settings. So again, I'm just going to go back to Spotlight. And then we've got this one here, so view contact summary. So this is a brand new feature that's been written, and if we click on it, basically this is an inbuilt report into the console, and this allows you to generate a report over a specific period. So just like within Shortcuts, you just select the date range that you wish to view. And this looks at email and SMS reviews that have been sent out, and then you can see the successfuls or the unsuccessful, so you can check your bounce backs, and then you can cross-reference that against the email addresses that you've got within Shortcuts, and just make sure that your data is nice and clean, and hopefully just help you tidy up your data. So it's a new report that's been inbuilt into the console just for you to get a little bit more idea about what's going on with these Spotlight reviews. Fab. So that takes us through Spotlight. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take us back to the home page. And now I'm going to take us through to our company settings for our online booking. So a few months back, we added 16 new themes to our online booking. We gave them a little bit of a revamp. The old ones are still there, but for any of you that are using online booking and would like to maybe refresh your online booking page, there's, as I said, there's another 16 here. So I'm just going to jump into my PowerPoint presentation for 1 second, and then I can show you. I'll just load these up. So these are all the themes that we've added. So you can see that there's some really pretty ones. There's some without images that a few clients have requested. So if you decide that there's a theme that maybe suits your website better, or you just want to give it a bit of a refresh, then by all means pop into your console and just choose a new template. Now if you'd like to see the flyer that's got the images on it, then if you just give us a contact, just let us know and then we'll get that across to you just so you can have a look at them before you decide which image and which template would best suit you. So I'm just going to go back into my console. Cool. So in our company settings, we've also got the option to manage users. So manage users is basically setting up staff access. So you'll see here I've got all of my staff that are already set up. And then down the side, I've got the option to add a new user. So I'm just going to click add a new user, and then it's asking me a question. So this is the new bit. It's asking, do I want to create a new user that's not associated with a point of sale employee? So it's somebody who needs access to the console but doesn't have a connection with Shortcut's point of sale. Or am I creating a new user that is a point of sale employee? So I'm just going to go for the bottom one. And then what used to happen is that when you set up your users, you then had to go and select the site and the employee, but this wasn't happening for everybody, and people were forgetting to do this, so now it's part of the setup. So you choose the site that your employee works at, and then you choose their employee name. I'm going to go for Linda. So you'll see there's Linda. She sets up, works in the Shortcut Salon Birmingham, and then I'm just going to press continue. And then I've got all the information that I could fill in. Now along the bottom, if you've got more than one site and this employee worked at more than one site, you can then add sites. So underneath I could click add site, and then I could select my second site, and then I could select my employee name. And then you can also give access depending on the site. So for example, I could set up Linda as a site manager, and a site manager is somebody that would need access to the console just for that site, and there'd be maybe somebody who's looking after your ratings and reviews, or maybe they're managing the scorecard, but just for that individual site. Then you've got employee, and the employee is given access to the anywhere feature. So the anywhere feature is where you can see your appointment page. So it could be on a mobile device, and your employee can then log on and they can see their column for the day. We've also got CIC access. Now CIC access is an online client information card. So very similar to the client information cards that you have with the Shortcut system, the paper ones, but online. So you're able to hand a tablet to a client and they can complete their own client information, and that then goes in to Shortcuts itself. Now this feature won't be released till the new year, so that's just a little insight into what's coming. So as I said, you just tick the options that you want. So we could have that she's a site manager for Birmingham, but she's just an employee for then London. So they can have multiple options. So I'm just going to take us back to the main screen now. So now we're going to go into our BookME settings. So a couple of changes that have been made within our online booking. So in here, down the bottom, we've got an option to display service duration in booking confirmation screen and confirmation email. So what this means is that we can turn off that little bit that tells the client how long the service is going to take when they've completed their online booking, and also in the confirmation email. So it's up to you. Ticking the box means that you want it left on, or you could untick it. And again, we've had quite a few people asking about this, so it's quite good that they've put it in, things that we're asking for. And then under here we've got the employee selection. So you can decide when choosing an employee online on your online booking, whether you just want individual names to show up, female, male, any. So for example, you may decide that you just want them to either choose an individual or just choose anyone. Or you may just be a male, so I've only got male employees, so it's any male or individual, or you can just leave them all ticked. So again, it's another feature that a lot of clients have asked for that has been popped in just for us. So down the right hand side we've got a few more options. So we've got our sync agent password. So I would ask that you don't touch this, but I just wanted to touch on what it is. It used to be called the BookME password, and basically this is the password for our agent. So it's the password that gets your online bookings talking to your shortcut system, getting that data moved across. So we do ask that you don't touch this, otherwise you could end up with your online bookings stop working. So a bit further down we've got our BookME scorecard. So we're going to go to Scorecard in a little bit, but this is just a link through to Scorecard, but just to the BookME section. So it's just a bit of a shortcut from my BookME settings. I can go straight into my BookME scorecard and see how well my online booking is doing without viewing any other data. So we've also got another little report in here, and it's the display BookME bookings. I'm just going to click on this link. So again, it's a report with a date range. So I'm just going to just go from the beginning of the year. I'm just going to click go. And this will show details of how many bookings you've had in that period. So unfortunately I've had no bookings. And there's a value, and then underneath it would give you the booking date, the date of the appointment, the client's name, services booked, and the booking price. So it's giving you a rough idea of the appointments that are being made, if there's popular services that are being booked online, and you can then backtrack if your client's got any queries. Just going to go back into our BookMe settings. So the final thing in our BookMe is this little one here called copy settings. So if you've got multiple sites, you're then able to set up one site and then copy the settings to your other sites. So I did just click on copy settings. This gives me the name of my site that I want, and then I just click add and then copy settings, and that will copy all of those settings across. So much better, rather than doing it one by one, we can just do one first and then just copy them across. So really good if you've got multiple sites and want the settings to be the same across the board. Fabulous, so that takes us through our BookMe. So now I'm going to take us into Scorecard. So in Scorecard there's a couple of little things again that we've added in. So just like the spotlight, we've got that change to map view. So I can see all of my sites on a map, and again you can see that they're highlighted with the different colours, and then I can click through to my individual site through the tabs at the side. If I wish to go back to my tile view, it just changes, so I can just click and it'll take me back to my tile view. So I'm just going to go into London. So one of the things with Scorecard is that you're marked against a community. So it gives you a rough idea how you're doing, so this white line, how you're doing against a community, so how you're doing against the standards of that community overall. And you'll see here it tells you which community you're in. Now one of the new things that has been added in is you're able to change that community, so to be able to view your data against a different community. So for example, you could be a hair and beauty service, but you can only be against one community, so you're against the hair community as a whole, but you want to check yourself against beauty. So all we would do is click on the drop down option and go to Beauty UK, and then instantly the information changes. So you can see that our white line's changed and it now tells us we're being tracked against Beauty UK. So the main ones that you would use here are hair, beauty, spa and clinic. So feel free to have a play around with those and track yourself against different communities, especially if you're just branching out into a different area. Maybe you can just check how you're getting on against the standards of that community. So one of the other little options that's happened is we've now got a new tile, and this one's for Walk-in Manager. So it's just your normal scorecard with your graphs, but it's for people that are using the Walk-in Manager feature. Excuse me, sorry, my computer seems to have gone slow. So people using the Walk-in Manager feature rather than the appointments are then able to track their revenue and bits and bobs about Walk-in Manager through Scorecard itself. Brilliant. So that takes us through the console changes, but we do have a few changes that are outside of the console. So I'm just going to pop back to my PowerPoint presentation. So a few changes have been made to online booking itself from a client's perspective. So what we've done is the login details. So when the client registers for online booking for the first time, what will happen is when they're asked to enter in all their information, it'll ask them to enter their email and then to confirm their email. The same for the password. We found that a lot of clients were typing in their email address and a password, and then they were typing in maybe a wrong digit or a wrong letter into the email address. So then when they were trying to log back in, it wasn't registering their email at all. So this has been added in as a little bit more security, so just to make sure that the client's actually inputting their data incorrectly the first time. So this is just showing that this is our confirmation of our booking, and you can see here that the duration's been taken out. So we decided to turn off the duration, and this is just showing what it looked like without the duration. Then the final image is showing us if we have a client that books within a 7-day period, it'll double check. So it's checking to make sure it's not a double booking. And basically what it's doing is it's just saying, are you a double booking your service? And then it's giving us the booking date and the service that they're already booked in for, and then they can then press continue if it's not a double booking, or then they could go back. So it could be that they think they've maybe made the appointment, they've forgotten they've made the appointment, and then they go onto your online booking to make it again. Then this is going to flag up and just let them know that they've already made that appointment. Brilliant. So that takes us to the end of our Shortcuts Smart Console update. So if you've got any questions, if you want to give us a call, there's our contact details. So our phone number, our website and our Facebook page, so come and visit and like us. And if you found this useful at all, we do have a library of webinars, and it's at this web page. And there's also an events page where you can go and view any webinars that are coming up. So if you want to join one, you could join the live one, or you could visit this page. You can see the ones that we've already recorded previously, or any that are upcoming will get uploaded after we've recorded them. And that's the end. Thank you very much.